Hi everyone, welcome back. This is, I think, week 8 of my YouTube videos. My name is Reagan. If this is your first time watching, please like, subscribe, comment to help the algorithm to get more of my videos out there, because my hope is that the messages that I'm sharing actually genuinely help people. Even if it helps one person, that makes my day. So anyways, this week I wanted to talk about kind of just pop in quick. I'm literally on break from work right now, and that's hence, you know what, I brought this blanket. It has my cat on it, and it was a Christmas present, but I wanted to bring it in first off because I was cold. Second off, because I didn't want to wear my crew neck because I feel like I can't look too, I don't know, disheveled. Wow, my brain has been working today. But I also wear I feel like I wear the same type of things on my videos because these are the clothes that I put on when I'm just like comfy and not going anywhere, so it's like whatever. Anyways, this week I wanted to talk about the importance of rest and relaxing and kind of regulating yourself and your nervous system. Nervous system regulation is something that I think if you kind of have an algorithm on Instagram or TikTok or whatever that has you in the know of, oh, this helps with nervous system regulation. Oh, everyone has a dysregulated nervous system, yada, yada, yada. I feel like it can sound like a buzzword. There actually is validity to it, obviously. But it can be a little excessive in the way that everyone is like, oh my god, do this 3 things to regulate your nervous system perfectly. And having a regulated nervous system is something that definitely helps for obviously feeling regulated and calm and able to handle more stress. But it's not something that's like this crazy overarching, like you achieve this goal and like that's it, you have a regulated nervous system forever, because there are always things that are going to make you feel dysregulated. And regulation and dysregulation can kind of seem a little arbitrary as well, because if you're it's more speaking to a constant state of feeling really frazzled or stressed out or something. Any little thing can tip you over the edge and you are just really busy, like how I have lived a lot of my life in high school, college, and thankfully I've gotten out of it. Going from thing to thing to thing to thing, having no time for yourself, and just being so stressed out by everything, that can be really damaging to, again, your nervous system. So that's kind of what people speak to when they're talking about a dysregulated nervous system, one that doesn't really have a high capacity to hold all of the stresses of life without feeling like you are taking the toll of it intensely, very physically, emotionally, mentally, all that stuff. So as someone who has gone from being very dysregulated and very stressed out to thankfully now more aware of how to be calmer and integrate things into my life that help me calm down, I wanted to share messages for people who might also be living a super busy life, or people who maybe aren't that busy but just want to be able to just feel like they can just slow down, because our brains are always taking in so much data. It's some crazy amount of like the equivalent of bytes of data that your brain is taking in every day, every second, every whatever. Our brains function in a way that was not, we have not adapted to sustain so much stimulation. I've talked about this in several of my videos very briefly, but because of that, that is what makes rest so much more important, because you are going to find a lot more peace and a lot less stress if you can find ways to kind of integrate periods of rest and just taking a break. And for people who are busy, hearing me say that, don't immediately think, fuck that, I don't have time, because it does not take a lot of time to integrate small parts of the day for you to just take a step back and relax and just take a break from work, take a break from overstimulation, and just find small moments. That's the key, is taking small moments for yourself. So we're getting into more specifics. What I've found really helps me are, I'll just give a couple examples. Like something that is a goal of mine, a daily habit that I try to do, literally takes me 2 minutes, but I don't even time it through minutes. And it is just, I would say meditating, but my goal every day is to just find some time in my day to just take 10 deep breaths. And I think saying 10 deep breaths is a lot better than saying 2 minutes of meditation, whatever, because it equates to about the same time, depending on obviously how long you're breathing. And I'm not like, no one wants to pull out their phone timer to time the meditation or like count or anything like that. Like, it's so much easier to just say, take 10 deep breaths a day. So that is something that has really helped me feel more rested and more connected and less frazzled during the day. So that's the first advice that I have for finding something in the day that you can integrate that can help you just take a step back, because taking moments to pause are what allows you to not feel like you're just running and at the whim of all of the things you have to do and all of your tasks. I think that's a really important point in reflecting on my journey. Is I Part of why I felt so stressed out was because I felt like I truly did not have any time for myself. Like there was no time in the day outside of me being completely at the control of my schedule, of eating, like school, sports, eat, done. That was all of high school. And then college is, just like classes, eating, classes, studying, soccer. Like when you have so many things that are clear cut in your calendar, where you are just like, fuck, I don't have any time for myself. I do not have time to do anything that I want to do. When you're in those really stressed out moments, that kind of really contribute to you feeling less regulated and really easily stressed out. This is when I realized it would have helped me so much if I just took a step back and realized that I can find those little moments for myself throughout the day. And it doesn't take hours and hours. It doesn't take a whole thing. Yes, it's ideal if I have, a couple hours of my own time to do what I please. But when I'm really stressed out or busy or I'm in the middle of work, I can do these small things to give myself time for myself in small time frames. Because even if you think that, whatever, 2 minutes of breathing, or even taking like 3 deep breaths, or going outside without your phone for 2 minutes, or just taking a step outside, or reading for like 5 minutes, anything like that, very small increments, it doesn't really matter as much the time length, more so the fact that you are showing yourself, you're showing your brain that like you're not completely at the whim of your schedule. You do have time for yourself. And you do have time to still do things that you like to do. It might not be as much as you want, but doing those little things throughout the day are very important for helping you to feel regulated. It helps you kind of just pull in some of your energy a bit more and actually feel like you are in control. Because we get really freaked out when we feel like, again, we're not in control and we're, like I said, at the whim and at the will of just our schedule and our calendars. So that's my note for busy people. And in general, anyone. You don't have to be a busy person to feel entitled to taking time to, oh my God, breathe deeply throughout the day and meditate, etc. Um, but I will also say, speaking to rest from a bigger perspective, that I just fully glitched. I will say that with rest long term, if you are someone who is like me, who lived a very, 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 very busy life for years on end without really having like a solid break to actually take a step back, acknowledge all of your business for what it was, and move forward. If you haven't had time to yourself to truly just like take time off, if you can, I understand this isn't possible for everyone, and I'm grateful that I was able to do so, but it's okay to give yourself permission to take a more significant amount of time off, or time to yourself, or time just separate from whatever responsibilities that you can get away from, if you can, to kind of get yourself out of that burnout. Because burnout is very real. Burnout is something that takes a longer time to recover from than I think people realize, and I think what social media makes it seem like. Again, more of the same, of like, oh, I'm gonna get a regulated nervous system. Yeah, there's so much dysregulation right now, and I'm so frazzled from XYZ thing that happened to me in my past and the way that I live my life. So I'm just gonna do this little course and then poof, it'll be good. No, that is not. It could be how it works. If that's how it works for you, that's great. But most of the time, this stuff takes months. It's not on the scale of days to weeks, it's on the scale of months to years. Especially when you're coming down from such a heightened state of constantly being stressed and then crashing to a burnt out state, it takes time to recover and get to a place that you want to be at, being more regulated, less stressed out, and calmer. Again, I'm only a year out pretty much from when I kind of actually got a break from my regimented schedule and responsibilities. And even in the past spring semester of this year, I was still quite stressed out and just starting to realize, why I acted the way I did, why doing homework earlier than last minute stressed me out so much, why I was so it just seemingly incapable of actually being able to function well, I guess. If that makes any sense, just in terms of the workload and everything that I had and giving myself a break and coming to a point where I could actually just stop. So, rest is important. Rest is really important. And it's something that I feel like in hustle culture, it's overlooked a lot. And I'm grateful that it seems that a lot of people are actually starting to realize the detrimental effects of it, not just mentally, but being in a heightened state of stress. We all know that's not good for your body. Your body should not be constantly in a state of stress or fight or flight, as a lot of people will also say online, but it's unfortunately true. We live in a society where being very dysregulated and stressed out and always worried and anxious, and insert a million other things that a lot of people struggle with. Not saying the struggles are invalid, I'm just saying we live in a society where all of those struggles are normalized. And it, it's not actually what we're supposed to be living like. So that's my spiel. It was a little, I know I bounced between things a little bit, but like I said, just kind of wanted to hop on, give the summary, send it out, and go back to work. Because, like I said, I'm on my break. So, thank you to everyone who's watched. Thank you to anyone who's new who's watching, or anyone who's coming back and watching, anyone who subscribed to me, etc. Anyone who showed me support throughout this whole journey of me posting on YouTube and social media and everything. Thank you very, very much. I truly appreciate it, and I'm really excited for the visions that I have moving forward. I think I'm going to keep them more to myself, because talking about them to some people, I just don't need to hear their judgments, because, as I've said in other episodes, anyone judging you is just projecting their own shit. I don't really need that. So, anyways, 99% of the support has been positive. I haven't had any bad experiences, but whatever. Yapping, gift of gab. I hope everyone has a fantastic day, evening, night, wherever you are, and go be your most organic selves. And I will be back next week for 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks, I think. Right? I don't know what week it is. I clearly don't know anything. My brain has functioned too much. But anyways, go be your most organic selves, and I will see you guys next week.